time, Nils, she called me and she asked me to do this presentation, and here I am.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad that happened so that you could come and do it with us. So that's really good. So I'm glad you stuck through it.
Yeah, I'm used to talk over Skype and in front of people, so that's not the problem.
Good.
I'm really used to do that, and I'm doing this class, this lesson over Skype since 2017, and I've been in more than 200 schools so far.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's
So I'm going to talk about this work I'm doing, and the importance of raising awareness and sharing what we are doing and things like that.
That's awesome. Well, I hope people show up because I want to see it myself.
Okay. So what's your name?
I'm sorry. I'm Deb Atchison.
Oh, you're Deb. I've been talking with you, right?
Yes. We were emailing this week or past week, whenever that was. Yes. I wish this camera worked on this computer so you could see that I'm a real person, but this is Cassie's computer, and she did some training in a detention center not long ago, and so she had to turn off all of her cameras, and we didn't turn it on before this started, so I feel bad. But you know, what can you do, right? I guess. But I really do exist.
Okay. I have this person, a woman, she's called Laura. And she deals with the bookings of the Cousteau family. She works especially with Céline Cousteau, but also with Fabien Cousteau. And we met over email some years ago, and I still don't know who she looks like, how she looks like, you know.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. She knows me, but I could be next to her in the same room and I wouldn't be able to know that she was the one.
Yeah, but you feel like you really know her because you've communicated a lot, but if you saw her, you wouldn't recognize her. Yep.
No.
Which is so funny because we recognize a lot of names from people who come back every year joining us. And it's really nice to see their names. But Cassie was actually sitting by someone at ISTE, like on the same row as them, and didn't realize till she saw the picture today that was her. So we understand.
Yeah. And I don't like to have those, I call it ghosts, those gray symbols, you know, when we don't have our photo wherever we are. I don't like to see that. Even on the projects we have here in Europe called eTwinning, which is a platform for European schools. And we can develop projects together. And some teachers still don't put their picture on their profile, and I hate that.
I know. It makes it so impersonal.
Yes.
Like, I want to at least see you, even if it's not like a live picture. I want to at least know I'm talking to someone other than a gray ghost.
Yeah, exactly, yes. I don't like it. Even on Microsoft education platform, there are people that do the same. And some even keep their profiles private.
How are you supposed to know them? I mean, really, how are you supposed to collaborate?
What's the purpose? Okay, they can see everything going on, but we can't see them, so those
Yep, same here. No more. Goodbye. Well, do you ever go to the CISA conference? CISA is Central Eastern European Schools Association.
No, I've never heard about that.
Oh, okay. Well, my husband goes to them as a vendor, and I've gone with him the last few years. I didn't go this past year, but before that, I've probably been about 4 or 5 years in a row. It's usually in March somewhere in Europe, and the place changes every year. It goes to a different place. And I met some really amazing educators there when I've gone. And so it's just a neat conference. They do great things. So I didn't know, being in Europe, if you had been to that or anything.
That at least by the name you mentioned, I don't know, but
Oh.
I've been in several conferences, e-twinning conferences. So
Okay.
they gather teachers, 500 teachers all over Europe, and we are there attending workshops, and sometimes they even give the awards of the projects, the best projects, European
Oh,
projects.
yeah.
And I've been there for 3 days, more or less, in some European capital. And
Oh,
I've been
wow.
in three or four so far.
That's
It's
awesome.
yeah, very interesting. I won a European prize, you know.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, one of my projects, it was called Sound Trackers.
Oh,
Very
cool.
interesting. Yeah, very interesting project. With we are putting sound in little movies, little animations that Latvia was making, and
Uh,
Norway and myself. We were music teachers, so we put the sound. So I was synchronizing. The students were synchronizing the sound with the movements. We are recording all sorts of sounds with stuff, you know. And
uh-huh.
it was really interesting project. Very cool.
That sounds like an awesome project. I love it. Love it. All right, so Kamal just jumped on, and she was the
Yeah.
one I was telling you about, that her whole staff is watching. So I'm going to let you go ahead with your presentation, and I'm recording. And so just know that Kamal really is there, even though you can't see her right now on camera. And she has a group of people there with her, and she's saying a few things in the chat. So I don't know if you see the chat window.
Oh, yes, yes, yes,
But,
yes. I know Kamal.
oh,
I've been
good.
in her classroom
Oh,
already.
well, perfect. Well, then y'all are best
My
friends.
Skype lesson, yes.
Oh, wonderful. All right. Well, I'm going to be quiet and let you do your thing, and I'll come back
So
and
do you
check on
think
you.
I should start?
Yeah, I say go for it, because it's, what is it?
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 5 after.
Otherwise it will be late.
Yep. Just jump on in, and we'll see you again later. I'm going to go ahead and mute it. You have a great time. Oh, yeah. She sent.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you got it. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, now I can't see my own stuff. My God. It's over there. Okay. So, good morning, everybody. I am Manuela, as you can see here. I am Manuela from Portugal. As I was saying, I met Kamal in one of my lessons some time ago. And I am all those things you can read. So I'm a MIE expert and the trainer, a Skype master teacher, and also an eTwinning teacher. eTwinning is a platform for schools in Europe where we can register and develop projects for free. Many people ask me how in the world is a music teacher. I forgot to mention that. I'm noticing it now. I'm a music teacher in Portugal. Why is a music teacher carrying out this project, this, I don't know, this movement, how you want to call it, to raise awareness about plastic pollution and its impact in the environment, especially the ocean. So I'm going to walk you through a little parts of my life. I've developed some projects, as I mentioned. I live in a seaside town, by the way. It's called Espinho, which means thorn. And I just walk 5 minutes and I'm on the beach. Maybe all these things together, these projects I'm showing you now, made me understand or realize the impact of plastic in the environment, in the ocean. I've had these projects, this one, A Voyage of Sea Discovery. We could also travel to those countries that were partnering with us. And we are discussing everything that was related to the coastal cities, the way people live in coastal cities. Plastic was all about plastic, so a blast of plastic. Everything we did was with or about plastic. Even the postcards, the Christmas postcards, the art teachers created some fun postcards using plastic. And this one made me really understand how we are drowning in plastic. And last year I created this one, literacy, or literacy. If we read it fast enough, we can perceive it as literacy, so learning about the ocean, or litter at sea, garbage, waste, pollution in the plastic pollution in the ocean. I won a twinning project, by the way, sorry, a twinning prize with this one, a national one, and also with this one. Then I discovered in all this, I discovered Skype in the classroom, and I was immediately hooked. I think there's so many fantastic things that we can do there through Skype. We can connect to the world. So I was able to talk for free with Fabian Cousteau himself while he was living underwater for 31 days to beat his grandfather's record. And on that project, A Voyage of Sea Discovery, it was one of the activities we had. And it was so interesting, so engaging. He showed us the lab where he was living. He talked to us about his work there. Very nice, very kind person. He answered the students' questions, so very, very, very interesting talk. I also had this one about sharks, and since then I've been using virtual field trips, expert talks with the Arctic, Tribes on the Edge with Celine Cousteau and another member of the staff. We also invited our zoo. They tell many things about the animals. You can see rangers, marine protected areas. So we talked about all kinds of animals, ocean acidification, the corals, as you can see, also sharks, again, fossil fuels, the importance of the wetlands. I visited the Nile with a friend of mine from Egypt, Zoir. And lastly, last 2 weeks or so, we had this chat with this teacher from Galapagos. She was on a train, in fact, but she was telling her about her trip to Galapagos. So it is really fun, but we can still bring these people, if we can, to our school for real. So one thing doesn't mean we have to avoid bringing the real people to our school. As you see here, we had the Oceanarium talking to us about microplastics, and here the students were on a visit, on a school trip to a real place next to us. So all this made me go to, or create this, come to this place, Plastic Cleanup Brigade. The Skype Plastic Cleanup Brigade is my lesson, and I've been in more than 200 schools so far, 212 to be precise. And this lady here, you see here, she's called Oluvakemi Olurinora from Nigeria. She is to blame about all this. She's also a Skype master teacher like myself, and in August 2017 she invited me to talk about plastic to her class. I was not really understanding why she was inviting me. I had nothing, I have done nothing so far apart from that plastic project. But I said, okay, I can think about that. So I gathered everything I've learned from that project. I researched a lot, and I came up with that lesson I told you about. I didn't know, but by then, but I think it's been a huge success. I've been in many, many countries, from Australia to Canada, and I can see the comments on the web page for the lesson, even on Twitter. I think people like the lesson and think it is meaningful, and then they share with me what they do with their students. Very, very important. You see here, this comes from India. They organized many cleanup brigades. These are some teachers that also attended the lesson, and now some of them are part of my warriors, as I like to call them. They also are finding ways with me to engage and to make this lesson even better. And this is from the US, so many, India, many, Bosnia, many countries, you see. We also play Kahoot, so technology is involved not only because of Skype. I'm using Sway as I'm using here on this presentation, so these tools are very easy to use, user-friendly, and I think this game, Kahoot, only 10 questions, I always give them, and I have several kinds of games according to the age range. And it's a fun way of ending the lesson and recapping some of the ideas we've been talking through the lesson. I always finish asking teachers to share what they are doing. And there are many, many ways. These are Padlets, as you can see here, where they can do that. Because I believe that sharing is very, very important in this regard. It's the real power. No one will be feeling alone anymore. If they share, they can also see what the others are sharing, what the others are doing, so they can they feel stronger. You know, they feel stronger because they are not alone in this quest. Let's call it. I can also I created this recently, so I think people could also use Flipgrid to answer. I'm still developing this. And these are the Padlets where I'm gathering world collections of the things that we have in our power that are made of plastic. I also have this one for plastic trash, plastic that we find in wherever we go. This one is what are we going to do? So some actions that we can do, and this is artwork or other way of reusing or repurposing the plastic, which is also very important. Another tool is Sway, as I mentioned before. So I have many kinds of presentations on Sway. My students have even used Sway to make little presentations themselves. It's quite easy. We can talk about that later if you so want. And I use social media also to spread the word. My Twitter account is saying raising awareness, changing behavior. I really believe that by raising awareness, we can engage people to change their behavior. If they understand what they are protecting, if they understand what they are doing wrong, I think they will feel the need to change. That's the idea behind all this. Also on Facebook, I'm also sharing news of what's happening, the impact of plastic pollution, but also solutions, little tips, etc. We just share what we find that is interesting, we share there. I saw Wakelet the other day, so maybe I will try to use it in the future. I use Skype to talk to my warriors, as I call it. So these teachers were teachers that attended my lesson, and then we gathered last year on summer to talk about what we were doing. Some of them shared what they did with their students and ideas on what we could do better and improve the lesson and our impact. We had this last month, I think, on Zoom, because Skype was not working. And we gathered there to celebrate the 200th lesson of this Elastic Brigade lesson. In Europe, we have this platform called TwinSpace. Whenever we have a project approved, we have access to this platform, so we can run our project here. There are plenty of tools that we can organize and share what we do there. We have this live tool to communicate called Adobe Connect. I don't know how to set it outside the eTwinning platform. We get it once we create an event, and we get the link to go inside and talk and discuss whatever we want with our colleagues or students. There are little tools we can use, like for instance Bunsy. I'm not bothering you with all that, to create posters and raise awareness also. So I know there are plenty tools that we can use. Now this is new. I'm still working on this OneNote book. I'm working on it. My warriors still don't know, so this is a surprise I'm working on. And they will know about it in 1 week or 2. I will try to meet with them again. These are all of them from Vietnam. We have Iceland, we have Brazil, India, Canada, Italy, Portugal, so Bosnia, Thailand, many countries. I created this website because I think it would be important to have all this put together in one place. I can walk you through it if we have time. And now, as you can see here, my lesson yesterday had 12K views, which is amazing. And many people, almost more than 180, are liking it. And we have comments. I also answer the comments. I think it's polite. And that's it. Now I'm here on EdChange Global to spread and to raise awareness also by this platform, wonderful platform. So thank you for having me here. Now I'm going back to, hopefully, I'm stop sharing my screen for a moment. And I don't know, I'm reading the, is it possible to twin our classes? Well, I'm on holiday now. Students are on holidays now, and I'm not always working with this theme with my students. I'm a music teacher, so I have only one lesson per week, 19-minute lesson per week. Some years I have a club, like last year I had this club, so I could use many hours to link to the world. If I don't have that club, I have to be cautious with the connections I make. Okay, so what else would you like to see? Maybe I could walk you through my TwinSpace. I'm not talking to you about how we can, let me share my screen again, I'm sorry. Whoop, here it is. So this is Twin Space for real. You can see here we have a journal at the beginning. You can see our award. There are news here. Teachers, all the members can post here, and we have pages. You see, but if you're not in Europe, this doesn't really interest you, I think. So there are many pages that we can create and organize to develop our project. Then I have this Twin Space website. It's our will to make it a hub where we can link people that are interested in working in this problem. And you can see here our description of the members. So we are not scientists, we are not experts on this matter. We are just concerned citizens, and we are doing our best to raise awareness to this problem. You see here I'm going very fast, but you can see there are plenty of teachers here. We have a page for literacy, so to learn about these problems, with some movies, some information, this infographics page, and this one is to gather all the activities we are doing to raise awareness. So as you can see, this is Weebly, by the way, a free tool where we can create our own websites for free. And it's very easy, drag and drop, very easy to use. And you see here, everything I'm gathering, I told you about, it's posted here, it's this or that page, and I can organize that. And you see here plastic trackers, for instance. We have all these countries already trying to get involved and sharing what they did with their students. I call it plastic trackers. And they have, once they reach me, or if I know what they are doing, I sometimes invite them myself to post here. I'm going to show you, for instance, this one, because I know the teacher and she allowed me to present it to you. This is a teacher from the south, near Lisbon, and she has done many projects after my lesson with her students working on this. So you can see here, she all started they are using Sway as well. They are sharing what they did with their students. Very interesting work, but you can explore it because I will post the link on the chat and elsewhere, wherever I get the possibility to post those chats, okay? And this is all about the Plastic Brigade. So if you're interested in joining the Plastic Brigade or inviting me to go to your classroom and talk about this problem, I will be glad to. And these are 3 possibilities to how you can request a session. So you can do it through the Skype community, Microsoft Education Community. I will provide the link as well. If you're not, you can register and then you can ask for a lesson. But if you're not on this community, or even if you're not a teacher, but you have this group of people that you think they would be interested in learning about these problems, okay, we can go there too, and just email me, okay? I will be, we can agree on and set a time to go there, no problem, okay? So that's what I've been doing. I've been interviewed, by the way. This is an online magazine, very only works online, I think I mentioned. And that's it. So let me see what I have. I will stop sharing again. And let's see. Over the past 2 years, my science students have worked extensively on plastic pollution, wondering how might we collaborate in a meaningful way. Sent the request. Okay, so I will be glad to talk to you again, Kamal, your students, and maybe they can share with me what they've been doing, or I can go and talk about this again. I don't know if they are the same students or different students. It will be nice to see you again. I don't know if you have any other questions. Otherwise, I think I've finished what I have to say to you. Fresh set questions from 6th grade. So you want me this to be answer a question and answer session? Okay, no problem. Just mention that on the request, okay? So I can remember, because I have so many requests that sometimes I mess everything, and I need to know the age of the students and if they speak good. If they understand English, basically, no problem if they don't. I just need to know if I have to stop for the teacher to translate for them from time to time, of course. You can unmute your microphone and talk to me directly. Okay, thank you. It was, this is what makes me going on, you know, this chats with the students and, oh, you're on a bus. Okay, that's interesting. And what keeps me moving is this, feedback from teachers and from students. I see they are working, they are engaged, they are trying to help somehow. And I always say that small actions matter. They do matter. No ideas, little action matter. Because everything starts one bottle at a time, right? So now maybe the solution, part of the solution, could be exactly that. If each and every one of us would do something for as small as it is, I think it would have a big impact. And then we feel, when we change something in our life, everyday life, then we feel compelled to demand, you know, our governors, our governments, our politicians, our shoppers, the producers. We have to demand them to stop using useless plastic. Why are we wrapping vegetables in plastic? Okay, I get it. It's comfortable. We don't, how do you say, make our hands dirty. But what will happen to that plastic? It will be trash, right? So they have to understand themselves that they can't use plastic in that so insane way. We have to demand them, and they like to sell. So we have to do that to help them change. Anything else you'd like to know about? I had many good experience in many schools, and as I said, it's really rewarding to see sometimes teachers coming back and asking for another session for different students. Sometimes they invite me, like you are doing now, Kamal, to go to the classroom and just listen to the students, and they are telling me what they are doing. Sometimes they like Stormy Daniels, a teacher from Texas, asked me to go there, and her first graders were discussing some idea they had for a movie, and they were talking to me like grown-ups, you know, what if we do this or that? What do you think? Do we think we should go this way or that way? And it was amazing to see those little bugs trying to create something, and they did, and they even won a prize on some competition they sent their video to. Quite interesting. So quite rewarding for me, this feedback. So the main ideas are share, okay? Share what you're doing, whatever platform you decide to use. It's important to share, to let others know what you are doing. And this way they will feel empowered to follow your steps and do the same or something inspired by you, and use technology for that. So there are plenty of tools I showed you that they are free and we can use them easily, like Skype, like Sway, like Padlet, like Kahoot, like Zoom, and we can, and the social media platforms, also very important. These two things I think are the main thing. Okay, and talk about your work. Don't forget, talk about it. It will inspire others. Thank you, Kamal, for being here. And I don't know if no one else has some more questions. Maybe I think we could finish the session, or I can stay here, and if someone pops up, I can talk something about, quickly talk about what I've been saying. There's a mistake on my message.